Folks, I went and I got my multimeter. I hope you can hear me because the red light keeps going on. So we're going to see what this tests out as. Well, folks, this isn't good. May not be my battery. I got 12.15, 12.16. The voltage has gone up. I've been waiting for that red light to go out. And you know, last time I was... Thought I heard some coyotes. Last time I was out here, in the afternoon, the light went out and everything ran fine. So I thought maybe it just needs to warm up a bit. Maybe the battery's not holding, etc., etc. Well, turns out, I think the battery's actually doing really, really well. It was holding at 12 volts with the engine running. Okay. When I tried to hit the forward, just a little bit of power on to start moving the mill head forward, it dropped to 11.92. Turn it off, back to 12. When I check at the alternator, I'm getting 12. Turn everything off, shut her down, and I got 12.15, 12.16, started going up. So that tells me the battery may have been actually just keeping everything running. I was running off the battery and the alternator's not charging. So what I'm going to have to do is pull all the cover off and everything and make sure that the alternator belt is tight and that it's actually doing what it's supposed to do. If the alternator's spinning and it's not producing a charge, then I'm going to need to pull that alternator and take it in and get it tested and quite likely replace it. So, or get it rebuilt, one or the other. But I'm going to need to do that because obviously we're not going to get any milling done today if it's not charging the battery up, especially with the use of hydraulics, which take an awful lot of power. Just can't do it. You know, your debarker motor is electric, your forward and reverse feed's electric, your up-down motor's electric, right? Hydraulics is electric. Without the battery, it ain't gonna run. Well, the battery's good. Without the alternator putting out, you know, quite a few amps to overcome all of that, then you're dead in the water. So, this ain't a milling video now. It's a maintenance video. I'll get my tools and check it out here in a few minutes. But I think I'm going to go sit by the fire a little bit and just relax and enjoy some fire and warmth and decide what to do from there. So stick around. We'll see what we do here. Hang on. Let's get a little wood put in here. All right. I think the battery might be good. Yep. Because it was holding. It's holding power. So, I mean, if the battery was holding at... How is it not getting drained if the alternator's not working? Well, so if the battery started out at 12.6 volts and it was just producing enough to keep the engine running, and maybe the alternator was producing a little bit of power. Yeah, see right now, without it running, it's at 12.2526, 12.26. So, I mean, obviously the battery's actually good. It's holding a charge. So I'm going to put the battery maintainer back on it so that it charges it back up again. But it was running at 12 volts and it should have been running at like 14 and a half. Put a charge back on it, and then after I warm up a bit, I'll probably go get some tools and see if maybe just the belt's loose. It's possible. Let's lower this down where we can actually work on it a little easier. That ought to do it. And let's see if we can get in here and open this up. There's definitely, my 3 fingers worth of adjustment on that thing. So it could just be that I need to tighten it up. And tell you the truth, I can't recall ever tightening it in 8 years. So it's either worn out or I just need to tighten it up. We may be able to figure this out. Actually, I have pulled this. So it's been that long, folks. It has been a while. But I have actually pulled the alternator on this before because I had a weak battery. And at the time, I didn't think it was the battery. I actually thought it was the alternator itself. So I took the alternator in to have it tested. It's been a long time since I worked on this. All right, here we go. Now, first thing I want to check, that is really loose. My guess is that is so loose that we're just not getting any kind of charge. Okay, that one's loose, and then we want to loosen this one here, which is 9/16. See that? We can definitely put some pressure on there. Could be tighter still, but we're going to try that. What I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and fire it up with this like this and just see, okay, does that change anything? Now, disconnect the power here from the solar panel. We don't want that on there. Okay. All right, folks, see what happens. Definitely spinning. Well, that didn't work. I really didn't think it was going to. I mean, because the belt was at least tight enough to spin the alternator. So it's not providing any kind of charge. It may be providing half an amp or something like that, but it's absolutely not putting out enough power. The first time I tested it, we were running at about 12.2, which of course that's pulling it right off the solar panels. The second time I was running it, we were already down to 12 volts. Red light's on, it's not providing a charge, it's just draining the battery. So, time to yank it. No milling this weekend, folks. Oh, well. That is the way it goes sometimes. Just the way it is. There we go. Just pull the drive belt off because it's loose. Oh yeah, that alternator belt is shot. Look at that, folks. That is not how that belt should be. 8 years. Look at that. That's shot. That thing is just toast. No good. So I can get the alternator tested, and then once it's tested, all you got to do is they'll tell you if it's any good or not. If it's good, well, we put a new belt on and put it all back together and go back to milling. I have to try to remember how to do this. Considering I don't do that. You never know, I might have to learn if I find somebody else to send my bands to. Well, folks, I'm going to get this alternator tested, but honestly, that belt looks really bad. It's terrible. So, it's entirely possible if I put a new belt on, and this thing will be working better. Even though it looked like it was spinning and turning and it wasn't providing anything, that belt was in such bad shape. It might have been just strong enough to spin the alternator barely. We're going to find out. I'll take it into Napa or somewhere and have it tested. If I need a new alternator, we'll get a new one. We'll grab 2 belts. So I got a spare that I can throw in the cabin here somewhere just as a backup, because you never know when you're going to need one. So obviously, I'm not going to get any milling done today. Meanwhile, I'll drop another video right here for you to check out. Appreciate you watching, folks. Y'all have a great day. The Old Jarhead out.